Yeah, cool. Yeah, I really like Giroud, and I think he's actually more important to Tammy the way they're playing at the moment because he brings Willian
Exactly.
and Pulisic into play a lot more. So, yeah, there's assist potential there, and we've seen that he can still score. What about you, Joe? You already own Pulisic, right? So,
Yeah,
you thinking of bringing in another one?
possibly. I think the boat has basically sailed on people who are Chelsea lists getting Pulisic and Willian unless you've got a free hit, and I think free hitting for that Norwich game could be a great move there. I think for those like me, got Pulisic, those with Willian, I think doubling up is still viable. The fixtures there, Sheffield United, it could be tough, but the form that Pulisic and Willian are in at the moment, I wouldn't put it past them to double up again. And I love it. The Wilson, Fraser, Sturridge, Suarez, it's that combination. You're getting the scorer and the assister. And plus, they're not massively owned. They're not like effective ownership of over 100% in the top 10k. But they got that Norwich fixture, game week 36 plus. And then they've got Liverpool and Wolves, as Late Riser was saying. They're all doable in terms of getting goals and assists. But I just think the latter two, you might get a goal or assist. And I think there's points there, definitely. But I think essentially looking at the fixtures now, you've got 4 left. You're really looking at game week 36. That's your Chelsea time. And I think for those like me with Pulisic, he's going nowhere. And Willian is a tempter. It's very tempting. And I think if you've got a free hit, go for it. Just max out on Chelsea. Just really go for that fixture. That could be great. Because we've seen Norwich play this since the restart. They're awful. We've seen them against similar-ish teams, as in like the lower half of the table. And, when they come against, proper quality, like Pulisic and Willian at the moment, then that's a high impact move potentially there. And we've got some stats just to reel off here. Looking at the last 4 matches, it's as you would expect really. Top for goals, Willian, Giroud and Pulisic 2 each there. And in terms of shots inside the box, Willian 8, Giroud 9, Pulisic 9. I mean, it's those 3. They're the ones to get, I think. But I wouldn't rule out Azpilicueta for getting a really nice, safe, boring 12-point score one week from.
I don't know Chelsea. I just defensively I can't trust Chelsea, especially with those fixtures. I actually would prefer Lucas Digne right now than Azpilicueta. I think.
I'm with Andy on that. I don't like Chelsea's defense either.
I don't know. There's just if you watch that Crystal Palace Chelsea game, Crystal Palace did not look like Crystal Palace. They almost looked like Liverpool in that second half. The amount of times they got past Chelsea's midfield and through on goal was ridiculous. It was only like that last ditch tackle by Zuma, I think it was, to stop Ben. Even Benteke almost scored like there. In fact, he did score, didn't he? I think he did get one.
Yeah.
So he almost scored another one at the end. So yeah, I really quick thought I went for Antonio over Pulisic last week, which obviously right now looks awful. I will say, Antonio, 5 shots in the box. Pulisic only 1 this week. And Antonio created more chances. Granted, he is creating chances for players who aren't as good as the Chelsea players. So, for me this week, the problem is trying to fit them all in. Like we've already said, we'd all love to have 7 or 8 midfielders. So to get Pulisic in, I've got to drop one of Bruno Fernandes or Martial, one of Mahrez or De Bruyne, or Antonio, who plays Norwich. And so I don't know what to make about Sheffield United because they've got O'Connell back now and they've been great defensively this year. But you can't really take much away from the fact they kept a clean sheet against Wolves because they're so bad right now. So I'm probably going to go without him. But, and this is going to be a nice segue, I do like him for game week 36 if he starts. I may even captain him and bring him in, Pulisic. So I can't sit here and argue against him. He's been so good. There's nothing to say with those fixtures.
I'd just like to add to the stat bit when it comes to Pulisic. There's something about Pulisic with the stats don't give, and I've noticed it while watching the Chelsea game. He always puts himself in the position for the goal. Like if you noticed Giroud's goal, he put himself in the center of the pitch. For every cutback or every cross, he's in there. He's got that sort of greedy streak that Mo Salah has. He sees only the goal. I like that about him.
Yeah, I fully agree. I actually, to be honest, even though he's only had 1 shot in the box, I did feel a bit lucky he only got 1 goal, even though he didn't really have that many shots. One thing, we've already talked about the fact he's not Eden Hazard yet, but he reminds me of him. The big difference, I think, watching him is when Hazard got into the box, he started looking for a pass. When Pulisic gets in the box, he looks for goal, and that is so huge. So yeah, I'm not going to be bringing him in just because of my team setup, but I wouldn't be that put off if you have a spare transfer this week.
Yeah, he definitely is, as you said, a Game Week 36 captain contender. That would be a very nice impact move because we know he can get 20 points. He can get 20 points in a game. It is capable, especially against a poor defence